Welcome to The Snack, a lighter serving of Girls Gotta Eat.
This is a Dear Media production.
Enjoy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Happy Thursday.
Happy National Pickle Day.
It's Pickle Day in our lives a lot.
Suck on a pickle.
I'm glad that you asked.
Tune into YouTube right now, everybody. Raina.
This is thicker than any beyond. This is bigger than the microphone. Almost.
Raina, the hero we need.
There's only one dick I think I've ever had in my mouth. It's this big.
That's not.
Uh-huh. Well, how big he was. Like, break your jaw.
This better have the most YouTube. Did you unlock your jaw?
Screen jobs that.
You're
No,
like-
you see me deep throat microphones on stage. And Pickle's like not that even that big of a jump after
Yeah.
that. Okay, actually, so the two biggest I've ever had were the guy I lost my virginity to.
Yeah.
And which I fact checked like 10 years later. We kept sleeping with each other for a long time. So
Right.
after somebody else had blown me out, like I got back in there.
Yeah,
Still
because you don't know for sure what
Yes.
after you're first. You
And
don't
the
know
bo-
what's normal.
And the bodyguard in Charleston.
Okay. It's
this is
to
accurate.
look at that is like triggering. Like I could feel that in my pussy. I think you're liking it. Okay, well, now the jar.
I am liking it a little
go
too
right
much.
back to the
I'm
jar?
No, Tessa, can you come
Tessa,
take
can you have
this?
this pickle?
We gotta eat this later.
This will be on
There's
her
a
resume
reason
one
why
day.
Yeah. Here, take this side that wasn't in my mouth. I'm giving you the side that wasn't in my mouth.
Just throw it out.
This
We
is
have
the
plenty more.
side. Yeah.
Grab that end. Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw it out.
What if we looked over? Tessa was sucking on it.
I would
I
be
just want to
proud
feel
of her.
close to you.
Like, that's your bonus, Tessa.
Pickle
Enjoy it.
sisters. Okay, so today is National Pickle Day, and we will tell you why it's important to us this year because we are launching a new product. But we sent Tessa out on a pickle run, and she brought a jar over yesterday, and I was like, not big enough. Let's see if we can find the big ones.
She got sliced ones.
She was like, they were bigger. She brought us a couple options, and I was like, no, I'm looking for like jumbo. And then Tessa just
Look at this little chode.
went on a search through the city to find these. And where did you get them, Tessa?
Smart and Final.
Smart and Final.
These look like the Sam's Club tub.
So Smart and Final is where you can find your thick pickles, those thick
Your
boys.
thickles.
Your thickles.
Okay, do you know what this reminded me of? I can't believe this hasn't come up yet.
Okay.
This summer, we
Someone's
took a
dick.
trip.
Okay.
When I saw Sparkle Eyes' dick. No, this summer we took a trip and your mom was so sweet. She texted me and our friend, what would you guys like in the house? And
yeah.
our other friend that's coming has some dietary restrictions, so she's very specific about what she wants, but she got very specific about the pickles.
About the pickles, yes.
And she sent your mom a bullet pointed list and I roasted her. So you were on the text. I think everybody was just trying to like not bother you. You
Yeah.
coordinated the house and the trip.
Once I heard about it, I wasn't pleased.
I was like, do I tell her? Because our friend sent your mom a bullet pointed checklist from her notes section. Snacks, Claussen pickles, ideally the sandwich stackers, but spears will be the next best thing, then half pickles, then whole. So your mom goes to the grocery store. Hey, would you like bread and butter or would you like dill? Dill, please, works for me. Imagine saying it to somebody's mom. She is thorough.
The thing is at first I was like, please do not treat my mom like she's your assistant. Like she's nice enough to go grocery shopping for everybody. But then I really tried to get my head around it because I didn't love it. And I love her and she's like family.
We
but
love her.
She sent the list she would want to receive. Because if she was in the store and you had told her to get pickles, she would want to get you those exact same pickles. And she would be like, well, what's your second choice? Okay, well, what's your third choice? Give me your top 5 choices of pickles so I can get the right thing for you. So
and
it's like,
how do you want them sliced?
yeah, so she gave the list she would want to receive, but I was like, how dare you? Cindy is a saint. And now she's doing your pickle run.
I was upstairs I was in my bedroom and I was like, I don't know if I could tell Ashley about this.
It's fine. We all got through it, but yeah, Picklegate was this past summer.
And I like listen, she's a good sport. She let me I made fun of her in front of your mom for days.
Exactly. No, like I was like the way my mom roasted her. Like everybody was in on it. She walked that list back quick.
Anyways, we'll thank a couple of our partners and we'll talk about why we're telling you about pickles. Thanks to Skims. Shop Skims Holiday Shop at skims.com and Hexclad. Get 10% off at hexclad.com/GGE.
And thanks to Helix, get 25% off site-wide and 2 free pillows with any mattress order and a free bedding bundle with any Luxe or Elite mattress order at helixsleep.com/GGE. And Embark, get $65 off Embark's breed and health test and free shipping at embarkvet.com with code GGE. Okay, so we already gave you the spoiler alert, but this is our pickle report. Kicking it off with the pickle report on National Pickle Day. Raina, you want to do the honors?
Since I had to suck on that pickle. So, Ashley and I love our suck and blow gel from Vibes Only, and we are announcing by very popular demand, overwhelming demand, a dill pickle suck and blow gel. And this took me by storm because you posted on your Instagram, like, what flavors are you guys looking for? And like overwhelmingly dill pickle.
So to give you guys a backstory, this was earlier this year. I posted on my story. I might even been over the holidays of 2023. Like what I was just bored at home, like what flavors do you guys want to see next year in 2024? And again, a lot of people said dill pickle, and I couldn't tell if people were trolling me or not. And we find that a lot of people will say things just to get a laugh, and they wouldn't really buy that shit. Like people were like Old Bay. I was like, shut up, y'all. So for April Fool's Day, we put out some funny flavors as like an April Fool's gag for our suck and blow gel, which again is penis and vulva friendly. It just enhances the oral experience. We love it. It's a bestseller, and you guys love it, and we love that. And we did dill pickle, charcuterie. Do you remember some of the others?
Spicy rigatoni.
Spicy rigatoni.
Was taco flavor one of them?
No, I don't think that was one of the ones that made the cut. But there were so many different ones, and Tessa designed these funny posts. And in the comments, people were like, I wish this was real. Definitely the pickle one. Like, people were like, I can't believe the pickle's not real.
So for a limited time only, we have dill pickle on the site, vibesonly.com, and you can suck a dill pickle flavored pickle or put it on your pussy.
New meaning to pickleball.
That is great.
Get your mouth around some pickleballs. If you don't like to play the sport, make it a sport in the bedroom. We're playing pickleball tonight, babe. Can you imagine? Like the puns alone, the flirting. You get it for the flirting of it all. You ready for some pickleball tonight?
I love it. If you're just like a hamburger enthusiast or just like a condiment enthusiast in general, maybe you're like from Chicago, you like the Chicago dogs with all the relish on it, make a Chicago dog.
And you can make a Picklewiche with his dick. And we wanted to talk about the Picklewiche. So Jimmy John's released a Picklewiche. They're not the first people to ever make a Picklewiche. People were saying there was this place in Detroit that was like the creators, whatever. So I don't want to credit them with like inventing the sandwich. But they introduced it on October 24th. And their Picklewiche is pickles as the bread, basically. So, and there's 2 different types you can get. But like the turkey Picklewiche, for example, is 2 giant pickles as the roll, and then tomato, provolone, turkey, and lettuce.
I feel that the ratio of pickle to fillings on these, not for me. I need a little less pickle and a little more fillings.
Yeah.
Like listen, it's not my favorite thing. And I would fuck with this a couple bites, especially if I was pregnant.
Yes, pregnant people got excited. What's not going to be for me is to bite into what should be a, hoagie roll and it squirts.
Or snaps. I hate that snap of the
I don't
pickle.
like the squirt. Like, that's why I don't like a sausage casing. Like, I don't want something to like, I don't know.
Well, I don't bite into a sausage. I like to slice it.
Right.
Like I like that little slice up the hot sauce. So like when I bite into it, it doesn't snap like that.
I don't like a
snap.
Yes,
It gives me the ick.
Yeah.
It gives me the ick like when I get Botox too. That little pop.
Stop. Okay, so some of the comments, some of my favorite comments, which Raina and I love when like food brands comment on each other's shit or they beef. Like I love like Wendy's and Burger King will like beef on Twitter. So Hellman's mayonnaise commented, "It's missing something with the eyes."
The Hellman's, you can't put Hellman's mayonnaise though on. I'm a huge mayonnaise fan. If you can't put it on pickles, it would be too wet. Can you imagine how wet that thing would be slipping and sliding?
Not the slip and slide. Okay, one of my favorite comments is Cheez-It commented, "Speechless."
You could, I could dry that out a little bit with some Cheez-Its.
Food bloggers tried it. Oh, yeah. And here's the comment. What's the dill Detroit? We just want to shout out Detroit. So what's the dill Detroit is what people were crediting. That's stuffed kosher pickle sandwiches in Detroit at this deli. If you guys are in Detroit, try that out. And food bloggers tried it. I mean, a lot of the headlines I saw were, I tried the Picklewiche so you don't have to. Because this is a one-time thing. Like, do you think people are going back for repeat purchases?
No, this is not like you're not going back.
But what if it might hit different for some people.
Pregnant people. And also, it would have to be dill pickle for me. It couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
Like a really mild, like Jewish dill pickle, like Jewish deli dill pickle, and a couple bites.
I mean, pickles are polarizing. I feel like the best couple is one that doesn't like pickles and one person likes pickles and one doesn't, because then you always get their pickle.
I like pickles. Okay,
Yeah.
hear me out.
Oh,
I don't
I
need
fuck
a
with
pickle
pickles.
sandwich, but I'll do a pickle stack. Like the pickle is like the chip on the bottom, and then
Yes,
you put shit on
love
top of
that.
it.
Yeah.
But like the double pickle gives me the ick.
Yeah, like I used to
I'll stack it.
when I was a kid, I would take a dill spear and wrap it in like a cold cut. What? Is that weird? Like when I got home, and then I would eat a sleeve of Oreos. You know, I had a problem. You know, my parents were like,
You know, this is like-
you have to stop eating Oreos.
This is the really trashy version of the Italian like melon and prosciutto. Like you
I invented charcuterie, everybody.
This is like the Ralph's grocery, the Aldi grocery store of the like beautiful high-end Italian appetizer of melon and prosciutto. Ashley's like pickles and salami.
It would usually be turkey. It would usually be a little boar's head. But yeah, I love wrapping a pickle in a cold cut.
Turkey. Ew.
There are turkeys on the Picklewiche.
Yeah, I need something salty in there.
Okay, you know what? Now that we're doing this, I want to tell you the other Picklewiche. So there's two. I read you the turkey one, but the other one is a little crazier.
All right, I'm into it.
The other one went a little rogue. The Vito Picklewiche. Okay, so this is basically the Italian. Oregano, basil, tomato, provolone, capicolo, salami, onion, oil and vinegar, and lettuce. Okay, so you can get an Italian or a turkey, basically.
I love an Italian sandwich so much, and I've tried all of them. I make it like my literal business to go to every place and try Italian sandwiches, like in the world.
Love it. Okay, so let's transition into something else green, and that is going to be the Wicked premiere.
So the Wicked movie premiere, the movie version of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, and it was like my whole feed, and so I was like, we got to talk about it. The red carpet was all green and pink, some interesting outfits, but that was not the craziest thing that came out of the whole Wicked situation. So Mattel released a
Wicked dolls.
Wicked doll. Mattel was supposed to have a hit with its Wicked dolls ahead of the movie premiere, but it backfired. So the official Mattel dolls, the Wicked dolls, on the back, there's a link, there's a QR code, and there's a link, but it links to a porn site.
So it links to wicked.com, which, who didn't check this? You know, like it's supposed to be wickedmovie.com, basically, and it just links to wicked.com. I checked out wicked.com this morning, obviously. And
How was that site?
It's not so bad. Like you don't open it and it's just like, you know, dick and pussy, but it's like shows other like movies. You know, do you know what's at the top of it is Stormy Daniels.
Oh, so it's like Let's Get Naughty.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, kids should not be on it.
Yeah.
But it's funny
Stormy
because they
Daniels.
probably got a lot of traffic and they were like, put Stormy at the top. Make sure she's trending.
That's crazy.
And she's coming up again in this episode, I want to be clear.
She is.
I have another thing to say about Stormy Daniels. We're talking about Hush Money. We'll get into it. No, I just thought it was funny. It was like, what's the most trending porn? They put it at the top. Yeah, it's just like a porn site. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a Netflix type thing.
Do you
for
think
porn.
that this was on purpose? Not like, do you think somebody from the inside like played a joke on Mattel? This feels
It doesn't fucking
shocking.
matter. Someone's supposed to check that shit.
But like the person
But
supposed
maybe?
to check it might have done it.
Oh,
I'm just like, it's an inside job.
like the final boss of
Yeah.
of the
They're like,
editing
got him.
checked it.
So Mattel was asked to make a statement, and they said consumers who have already have the product are advised to discard the product packaging or obscure the link and may contact Mattel customer service for further information. So Mattel's official statement is just throw out the box.
do you think these are collector's items?
Fuck yeah. I
Yeah.
would never throw
These
out this
have to
box.
be on eBay right now,
But like, can't you just change the link?
like the Clandle.
Was the Clandle ever really released? Or was just like the promo for the Clandle released and no one ever got the Clandle?
People got the Clandle. Yes,
Like it was on the website, people ordered the
I
Clandle?
think so.
Do you think
We
it's on?
obviously
Do
don't
you think
endorse
it's on
the Clandle.
eBay? Like,
That's
what,
what I'm saying. That's people put it on eBay,
Clandle?
which is like just fucked.
Wait, was it really called the Clandle, or you made it up? You called it the Clandle.
That's what the internet called it.
It's on Facebook Marketplace. You guys can get it.
No, we don't support this. Okay, so you can get the porn doll on eBay. It's got to be, the box has got to be on there.
Yeah, somebody kept those boxes, but I like the Mattel's like official statements. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Throw out the box. Leave us alone. Target
Mattel's like, we wish we had the URL.
links to purchase the dolls on websites, including Target's, have stopped working. Mattel declined to confirm whether a recall would happen. So they're just like, grow up.
Grow up.
That's what Mattel's telling
Yeah.
people. Mattel's like, we sell toys to kids, but also grow up.
And you know what? If your kid is able to access that URL, maybe they shouldn't have a phone.
Also true.
Is your kid on your family computer, wicked.com? You know what I mean? Like maybe
Teaching them a lesson.
you shouldn't have an iPhone that
Okay.
opens a QR.
No, I'm with you.
Okay, I have one more thing about the movie, which I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the musical on Broadway and I love it. And so, you know, we support Wicked, obviously.
I read the book on brand.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's very Raina. It's very like nobody Raina. I read the book.
Yes, it is.
One little fun fact I thought was very cute was Jonathan Bailey is in it from Bridgerton. Both of his characters, Fiyero in Wicked and Anthony Bridgerton in Bridgerton, are horseback riders. And so both projects required Bailey to work closely with an animal. In this case, it was the same horse.
Wait, that's so precious. Oh, I love that.
Makes me want to cry.
Is that
he
like
had
his
the same
horse?
horse.
There's like his horse?
I think it's just his like sidekick on movies.
Wait, that's so cute. Oh, they're like a bonded pair.
Like I love that he was like, I'm gonna need the same horse. Because horses are unpredictable. You know, like he has a bond with that horse.
Wait, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I thought that
okay,
was
I
really
love
sweet.
that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the movie. It looks so good. I'm so excited.
I
And
know.
we had a really good friend that went to the premiere and she said it was incredible.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to take a quick break and then we'll get back into it. I am so excited to tell you guys about Embark. If you have pets, we know how much you love them. They are really our whole lives. They see us at our best, they see us at our worst, but it's time for us to get to know them as well as they know us. So right up top, we just love to thank Embark for supporting Girls Gotta Eat. Embark is the provider of the most accurate dog DNA test on the market. Go to embarkvet.com to get free shipping and save $65 on the breed and health test with promo code GGE. Okay, so the number one thing you're going to find out with Embark is what breed is your dog. So their DNA test allows you to discover your dog's breed mix and learn more about their genetic health. So it's not just like, oh my God, what is he or she? It's like, let's talk about their health and what the breed mix could teach you about it. It's a great holiday gift. I love this. I mean, if it's a, you know, obviously you get it for yourself or a dog lover in your life, anyone who's really obsessed with their dog, which is most people who have a dog, this is really one of the most thoughtful gifts you can give. And I always just want to mention that this is the breed test that my vet recommends, Dr. Lisa Littman, who has just been with me every step of the way with Dewey and with Azul. This is the one she recommends. And one of the things she told me about it when we talked about it initially was she told me that you can find your dog's family and who their relatives are. So Embark's Relative Finder gives you the ability to find and connect with your dog's relatives using their messenger feature. Can you imagine? Like, it's just crazy. Like, I could find Azul's relatives and I could like message them and be like, you want to meet up?
No, I love it. It's so
I
sweet.
know. So Embark will tell you based on science how much DNA your dog shares with other Embark dogs in the database. Of course, so that the other dogs have to be in the database too, and offers you the ability to connect directly with them. I just think that is so cool. So this is just the best thing. This is the breed test that we recommend and that we endorse. And again, it makes a really great holiday gift and it's a fun game to play. I mean, to be able to just present a breed reveal,
Oh my
way better
gosh.
than a gender reveal.
I mean, your family, there's no family with more dogs.
Oh my
Just go around the room.
You know what else I like is that you could, if you love to be right, like me, you could predict what you think and then see if you're right. You could have a whole like
Drinking game around
what's it called? Like a pool, like a gambling thing, like in the family.
I just said, Ashley, you just love the idea of being in the middle of a bunch of people and they're all like, you're right, you're right, you're right.
I feel like I told you so. So this holiday, discover what makes your dog one of a kind with Embark's dog DNA test. Head to embarkvet.com and use code GGE to save $65 on Embark's breed and health test and get free shipping. Be sure to let them know we sent you after you place your order. Tell them Girls Gotta Eat sent you in their survey. Again, visit embarkvet.com and use promo code GGE to save $65 on Embark's breed and health tests today.
All right, so with the holidays coming up, I think we're entertaining more than ever. We're having people over to our houses. And the most important thing when I'm entertaining is having cookware that is just like reliable, easy to clean. I like that it like looks good. Like when people walk into your house, they see all the stuff on your stove and like looks beautiful. I love that. So Hexclad's innovative hybrid design combines the best of both worlds, giving you the ease of nonstick cookware, the durability of cast iron, and the versatility of stainless steel. I love all the things that they're saying. So normally a high-end cookware takes forever to clean. It is just the easiest thing to clean. That is really important to me. Like, I will leave pots and pans in my sink for days otherwise, just like avoiding the task. But they make it really, really simple to just like clean, move on, take care of the people that you love. So it can be like a great family tradition to incorporate into the holidays. And for a limited time, HexClad is giving our listeners 10% off your order with our exclusive link. Just go to hexclad.com/GGE, support our show, and check them out at HexClad, HEXCLAD.com/GGE. They have a 6-piece set that's perfect starter bundle. So if you really are looking for something to replace your existing cookware, if you don't have great cookware, if you want to gift somebody this for the holidays, it's really perfect. And like I said, when you're choosing between pans, you kind of have to choose between like performance of stainless steel or durability of cast iron and the convenience of nonstick. So they've combined all these things together, which is just such a game changer. They check every single box. They're metal utensil safe, they're dishwasher safe, they're oven safe up to 500 degrees. So all the things you're really looking for, including the fact that they look really nice. So when people come over, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, your cookware is beautiful."
I got some pots and pans, but I love I got the big wok, and I love it because I did not have like a big like wok pan.
I love one.
You know, I know. So I'm excited to cook with that, and it's really gorgeous. I love the inside of it. It just looks kind of like different and cool, fancy, high tech.
Whether you're treating yourself or looking for that perfect gift, now's the time to snag the cookware that everyone's talking about. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off your order with our exclusive link. Just head to hexclad.com/GGE, support our show, and check them out at HEXCLAD.com/GGE. Bon appetit. Let's eat with HexClad's revolutionary cookware. Happy cooking and happy holidays.
Okay, so we're just going to run through a couple quick headlines.
Here's one that really took me by surprise. Megan Fox is pregnant with Machine Gun Kelly's child, and they previously suffered a miscarriage, so it's their rainbow baby. I just never know if these two are together.
Oh no,
I
can't keep up.
I think they were at some event together recently. I saw them getting out of a car together, and I was like, "Oh, whose birthday party were they at?" Doesn't matter.
I just don't really
never
keep
know.
up with them.
And she went on Call Her Daddy, and I think she said that they weren't really together, and they've broken up kind of publicly. And then there was like all these insinuations that there was like a cheating scandal with somebody in his band, but they are together, and Brian Austin Green congratulated them.
Cute.
It was cute.
Okay, yeah. I mean, congrats to them. What do you think they're going to name that baby? You think it's going to be something crazy?
Yes. There's not a chance in hell that's not going to be a crazy name. I was looking at Brian Austin Green for a second, and this interview popped up where Tori Spelling had to remind him that they had sex.
The two of them?
The two of them. Because they were on 90210 together.
Yeah.
She was his girlfriend on 90210.
Oh.
And she was like, "No, we've had sex together."
But like real outside of the show?
Outside of the show.
Oh. Wait.
Donna was a
Why
virgin.
did that come up?
I don't know. Just, I was on the internet trying to find joy.
Okay.
There's not a lot of joy on the internet right now, so I'm trying to avoid other stuff.
Okay, well, speaking of joy on the internet, this really gave me a laugh. So this Wheel of Fortune moment went viral after he guessed wrongly. So this contestant, this was just this past Monday, the contestant Will attempted to solve the puzzle. Give yourself a round of applause, and we'll show it up on the screen for YouTube, like the letters that were already there.
It's not that close.
And with just a few squares missing, Will incorrectly guessed, treat yourself a round of sausage.
It's not really close, you guys.
But it depends on where your head's at.
If I was
You're right, 'cause
drunk,
the sausage.
it's not even close, to be honest. And if
You're right, the letters don't even match.
They
up.
don't match
Treat
up.
yourself.
They don't match up if you spell them out. I mean, if I was drunk, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see drunk me making that because I'm just like, who cares?
He was just hungry.
Just silly.
He just wanted some sausage. You shouldn't play Wheel of Fortune hungry.
You can't go to the grocery store.
Go to the grocery store hungry. I love stuff like this, like Wheel of Fortune and like Family Feud. Have you ever watched like Family Feud, like compilations?
I know, it's like your favorite thing. I actually only watch Family Feud when you send me Family Feud stuff. I forget that you're such a Family Feud stan.
Well, I think Steve Harvey is hilarious. And I love when people surprise him, He has the funniest reactions. I want to go on that one day.
I know, it's your dream.
My family, like I'm dying. And I watched it with my grandma when I was a kid. Like I'm not sitting around watching it every night, but I've always really had an affinity for it. And I really used to watch it back in the day.
Who would you want to go up against?
Oh my God, like what other family?
Yeah. I can't believe you never thought about this. You're like really such a fan.
Rena,
and I want to manifest this for you. No, I mean, I still remember you telling me about this. We were like,
what family would we do?
Would be like you, right? It'd be like you, Matt, Cindy, Lee, like everybody, the family.
Your family?
No.
Yes.
We would just argue the whole time.
Wait, I'm obsessed with this. It should be both our families against each other. Your dad versus my dad
would be drunk.
Your dad
and
would
he'd
shuffle
fart,
up to the thing.
He'd fart on stage.
I'm dying. No, like I love this idea because you and I would go up against each other to start, to kick it off, and then our brothers, and then our dads, and then our sister-in-laws.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. And then my mom would be like, why am I even here? This isn't funny. I don't like this.
Yeah. Then our I don't know. I think my mom would do what? Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of Matt would probably.
Arlen would sweep the room.
Yeah.
He would be so good at this.
I think we would too.
I would put Arlen as a teammate number 1.
Yeah.
Not me. I would not. I'm not the team captain for this one. I just
team captain.
my brother just like knows so much about so many things.
There's some categories you might know more, like more
pop
kind of
culture.
pop culture stuff.
Well, he's not
Yeah.
on social media, so I'm
Right,
like, how do you know
exactly.
anything?
Exactly.
But like, if you want to talk about like fossil fuels and finance.
And sometimes they're dirty. Like I love the like sexual ones, and and like Steve Harvey acts all surprised. It's like you knew the category. The one recently said like sexiest game show host, and like he was on the board. Like Steve Harvey was up there.
Can you try to find this, like people that submit responses to Family Feud? Because they said that like 30 million people respond, but like, have you ever met anybody that's ever submitted? So Family Feud is basically
like how they do the surveys.
How do they do the surveys? So like basically,
Right.
if you guys never seen Family Feud, it'll say like, give me an
So
example.
Well, they have like top 6 whatever. So who answered that? And then at the end, they say like the percentage of people that answered these other questions. It's all based on like these alleged surveys.
So you say like, okay, what are the top 6 things you
Yeah.
would take camping with you?
Right.
And then it's a list, and then like people shout things out like a tent. But like they've surveyed people to see like what's the number 1 thing through 6. And
Yeah.
like they say that they've surveyed like 30 million people,
God.
but we don't know one person that's
what a
ever
conspiracy
taken
theory.
this.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know.
That's who found it.
So it's anonymous polling. So
Oh, I bet it is.
yeah,
This
because
sounds
they don't
fake.
want to. You don't want to like. They don't want you to know that it's for Family Feud.
But who's
doing this,
where
like
do you
Facebook?
sign up for this?
So it
Facebook
says today
Marketplace.
polling for Family Feud is conducted via telephone surveys similar to those used in political polling.
Who's it? A telephone.
your phone banking. Let me do
telephone.
this.
Applied
Search phone
Research
banking for
West
Family Feud.
is a third-party polling firm selected in 2000 by NBC to conduct weekly surveys for the game show. They use random digital dialing to ensure that the sample is more reflective of the general U.S. population, and each survey includes 30 to 40 questions gathered from writers who submit hundreds of potential queries to the show's producers because they only poll 100 people per question.
Okay, what if
Right,
somebody called you and was
exactly.
like, "Hi, ma'am, do you have some time to talk about camping?" Like, what? Who is answering and then saying yes?
I
And it's
know.
a not. But did they say we're calling from Family Feud?
No, I mean it sounds like it's anonymous.
So
or
who
is
would
that-
stay on the phone?
People do stay. Older people do stay on the phone. Like it's easy for us to be like, hang up, but like older people, that's who you are able to get through to.
Think
when
of
you
the older
call.
people you know. My dad. You think my dad would stay on that phone?
Probably. I don't know. You'd be surprised. They stay on the phone more
You
than
know what it
younger
is?
people.
It's the kind of people that talk to Uber drivers.
Yeah, it was your dad's. Okay, well now we know. Allegedly, they're calling people. Allegedly, they're phone
Allegedly.
banking. But I want to get in on that.
You
And
know,
they're so skewed sometimes because like the craziest one I saw recently was best rappers. And it's like, who
Okay.
did they call? Did they call a bunch
My
of
dad.
middle-aged people in middle America to ask this question? Like the results were crazy.
What
Like
was
people
on
were
there?
shook by it.
Like-
I don't remember. It was like just not who you would have expected. Even Steve Harvey was like, who answered this? Okay. And the last headline is Dallas Cowboys show docuseries America's Sweethearts is going to come back for season 2. We loved the first season. We talked about it a lot, but I have to read this like kind of shade that I saw from Kate Kennedy, which Kate Kennedy loved the show and we talked about her a lot. She did a lot of episodes on it. Her podcast is called Be There in 5 and she had Victoria on the show.
right?
Remember? And if you know the show, you know Victoria, obviously, and she didn't go back for her final 5th season. And she's been like vocal about kind of the toxicity within the organization. And a clip of Kate talking to Victoria went viral and saying that Victoria felt hurt that people didn't come to her birthday party. And she was just open about it. She was like, I don't know if everybody got the invite. Like she wasn't really slamming anybody. And then all of the cheerleaders like commented on the TikTok and were like, I'm really hurt that you feel like this, like made it about themselves. It was kind of crazy. And Kate was like running the tape on this, and she talked about it on her podcast as well and did a whole deep dive. And she was like, they're all together right now at like training camp and sitting around like bombing the comments of this thing. And so anyway, so Kate wrote on her story, she says, I hope in season 2 there's a clip from the day the entire team broke down during training camp to comment on my mid-tier podcast video saying they were hurt. Victoria said that the team hurt her feelings. I repeat, they were upset. She made them look bad, not that she was hurt by them. So I mean,
they would never allow that.
Right.
Like, I just think that they're very protective of their image, and I don't think that like the organization of the Dallas Cowboys would allow a clip like that to come out. It's very much like protect the image at all costs.
Yes, of course. You know, not trying to drag anybody, but I like to, that's all out there for you guys to listen to if you guys are curious. And I did listen to her interview with Victoria, and I enjoyed it, and kind of her coming out of the organization and being able to see a lot of things she didn't see when she was inside of it. And so I found that really interesting.
You know, it's like one of my favorite shows of the year.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. I can't wait to watch. I miss Reese. I miss her so much. Sweet little angel.
I feel like, I don't know, I might be out on some like deep South Texas content.
I understand.
In 2025.
I understand.
Yeah.
You know,
just feel a little
whatever you need
triggered.
to do to protect your peace, but I'm going to be there. Catch me at DCC season 2.
Well, I did just want to say something kind of along that note. You know, we did our episode last week, which was our recap and our feelings and thoughts on the election. And we got a ton of positive comments from you guys and saying it helped you feel better. And we really appreciate that. And some people didn't echo those thoughts, and that's fine too. And some people wish we would have went harder. And again, like our feelings are going to like evolve and change. And I think a lot of the things we said on last week's episode was like the self-talk we're trying to tell each other. But, you know, again, this isn't going to be every week, but right now it still is like the thing that's dominating all the news. It's going to be like this. Unfortunately, I feel like it's reminding me of how this was in 2016 as we kind of started to have a cabinet being selected and all these things, and it's just going to dominate the news cycle. And so we are still a week post-election. And I think a lot of us are still filled with a range of emotions like anger, sadness, you know, still in disbelief that this country elected a president who has made it so clear he wants to be an authoritarian leader and dismantle our democracy. And that's what I struggle with a lot. It's just that those thoughts of like, where are we headed and how did we get here? And I consume a lot of content of like best course of action. What can we do? How can we, you know, self-care? And I think at this point, you know, the best thing you can do is really find your community. And this was something that I saw AOC talking about, like Jessica Williams on the Daily Show, and like really find those people that like understand you and hold your same values and make you feel safe, and just hold on to them. Like we do have to stick together and use our power together. And those moments with those people make you feel better too. And when you're around those people that you feel safe around and that you feel like you can share openly about how you're feeling, those moments make you feel better too. And I think really think about the things that like bring you joy and like lean into them. You know, this is things I've had to think about. Like I'm like, I can't shut my brain off. Like I need to do something that makes me feel better in this moment. And like, what is that going to be? And like finding that balance of like what you consume, how you consume it. You know, you can't let this take over your brain and your thoughts and your life for who knows how long. And so this is like the self-talk I'm giving myself too, because I've been on a loop where like every hour it's another thing that fires me up or something. And so I'm like, how much do I need to be on social media? Like what other news do I need to consume? Like what's going to feel less inflammatory to me, but still keeping me abreast of what's going on? I do think that balance is important, but I don't want people to like bury their head in the sand. You know, like what is going to happen and soon could have a lot of negative impact on a lot of people. You know, we're talking about the Donald Trump shuttering the Department of Education, these mass deportations. Like find that balance for you and take care of yourself. But I encourage you to not look away. And, you know, we have a midterm election in 2 years where hopefully things can change. You know, Democrats can hopefully get their shit together and we can take back the Senate and the House and really restore that system of checks and balances that the U.S. is known for. And I also just want to say, pay attention to your governors and your senators and your local leaders. You know, what Gavin Newsom is trying to do right now is really protect the state of California from a lot of these things that may happen. He's kind of Trump-proof it. And I think it's important to pay attention to what the people are doing in your state and in your local communities. 13 states next year will have women governors. That's a record. Sadly, it should be more, but that's positive. See what they're doing. your senators, know their names if you don't already, see what they stand for, support them if they hold your values. And these people are just really important, and they're more important than ever as we move forward. And so I just think get to know them, know their names, and like stay abreast of what's going on, even if it's sometimes hard to digest what's happening at the national, federal level in the White House, like what's going on in your like local and state governments. And I recommend Emily Amick's book. She was on our podcast a few months ago, Emily and Your Phone, and you can listen back to that episode. And then also I just think her book is really great when it comes to actionable items and things you can do, especially to get involved on like a local level. So if you're like, what can I actually do? Like I'm not the expert, she's a great resource too. So that's how I'm feeling today.
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of feelings and mixed emotions. And I found a lot of hope in all of your comments last week and all of your emails and your responses and things you guys wrote on YouTube. And a lot of you were very kind to each other even. And I think that this type of stuff really, it encourages a lot of inflammation and arguing back and forth online. And I was really proud of our audience that you guys approached this with a lot of kindness and openness. And that to me is self-care as well, not arguing with people online and just taking care of yourself. And if you need to take a break from social media and things out there, that's fine too, and I certainly have. And I think that, we all got to find our balance between burying our heads in the sand and just taking a mental health break, which is what I have needed to do. So just take care of yourselves.
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, it's finding that balance because I understand feeling like you got to put someone in their place and being like angry and wanting to say something and wanting to pop off. And again, I've been
Save it for Thanksgiving dinner.
I've been working on this for years, trying to find that balance, So that's all I can say. We're just like with you and we are here for you and we feel you if these are the emotions that you're having. Okay, well, we are just going to take another quick break and then we will get back into it and talk about the tea. I am going to tell you guys about Helix. Oh God, good sleep is more important than ever. I will say that. And I will say people have asked like, how are you sleeping? And I'm like, I'm sleeping fine. When I wake up, I remember some things and reality starts to sink in, but my sleep is great.
Yeah.
And I really think I have Helix to thank for that. Like I was rolling around in bed this morning, just like, this is why I sleep well. This is the reason. Like how comfortable my bed is the number one reason of why I sleep so well. So we're obsessed with Helix, the mattresses. We both have them. Our family and friends have them and had them for years. I mean, I have one, obviously my house, and then there's one in my guest room. I have one in my parents' house. I have the Midnight Lux. That is what I sleep on. And I used to have a Moonlight Lux. They offer big and tall mattresses. They offer mattresses for kids. And then they have their standard mattresses, their Lux mattresses, and their Elite mattresses. So they have a quiz online. You can take it and talk about what type of sleeper you are. We all sleep differently, sleep on our back, our side, our stomach. We, roll around. We all want different things in mattresses, soft, medium, firm. The activities that we're doing on the mattresses matter. If you're sleeping with a partner every night, if you're sleeping solo, if it's a mix, you never know what's going to happen. Just, you can take this quiz and they're going to match you with the mattress. And the quiz really does work. Like my friends and family members that I've had take the quiz, they ordered the mattress they were matched with. They're loving it. So we love it so much. You guys know we travel all the time. And so we sleep in a bunch of different beds and we still come home and our Helix mattress is our favorite bed we could ever sleep on. So we really can't recommend it enough, especially now if you feel like you're having any trouble sleeping, this is going to be the answer. So you can take advantage of our offer, which is going to be 25% off site-wide plus 2 free Dream pillows with any mattress purchase. And then also a free bedding bundle, 2 Dream pillows, sheets set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. And check all this out at helixsleep.com/GGE. So again, check out Helix. No better time like the present. Again, these make great gifts as well. And that's going to be helixsleep.com/GGE.
Yes, and the holidays are coming up. I cannot recommend Skims holiday collection enough for gifts for yourself or for people that you care about. Every year they do something great. I'm crazy about what they're doing this year. So their holiday shop will help you prepare for like literally anybody in your life. So what I am like wearing constantly right now, it's the Fits Everybody Lace Dipped Thong 5-packs. They have limited edition colors. So I have the fuchsia multi, which is just like, there's like a light pink, there's fuchsia, there's like a cocoa color. They also do a limited edition bubblegum multi-pack. The underwear is like my favorite I've worn. I like that style a lot. It's like thin and soft and like, Oh, I'm such a fan. And then their soft lounge sleep set, they're doing a
Oh my
brick
God.
color for limited edition. So I already have the black one and I wear the red one too now. It is so comfortable. It looks cute. Honestly, I would even throw it on a pair of heels and wear it out. Like, it is just the most comfy. It looks great. It's great to lounge around the house. It's very, very soft and flattering.
It's everybody's getting this year. Sorry, like cat's out of the bag. That soft lounge sleep set, like again, Rain and I both have the red color, but there's different colors. I've never worn anything like it.
Told you.
I want to live in
I
it.
told you I've been wearing that black for a long time. Now I got the brick.
Everybody's
It's
getting
ribbed. It's soft. It's
This
like
holiday shop.
stretchy.
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So shop Skims Holiday. Shop at skims.com. Available in styles for women, men, kids, and even pets. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. Just let them know we sent you, guys.
Yeah.
So the thing that is really dominating my newsfeed is the Brianna Chickenfry, Zach Bryan breakup and all the tea she is spilling because she rejected a $12 million hush money payoff.
Yeah. So we talked about them right when they broke up. The news was breaking
As
we recorded the snack a few weeks ago. And she said she was blindsided by his breakup post. And as it turns out, they were trying to get back together. She thought they were maybe going to get back together. And then he hit her with that post. And it kind of came out that it was because he had been seen on Raya. So you can listen to all this on the Barstool podcast BFFs, which she does with Dave Portnoy, which is, not that we're the biggest fan of that, but this is like where the tea is. I mean, she's a Barstool podcaster. So they broke up and then it was like back and forth for a while and she wasn't sure if it was over. And then he was on Raya, which is like, you're the most famous person, And so then he kind of tried to cover it up and like post on his Instagram, like, we're broken up. And she didn't see that coming. She hadn't told her family. She hadn't told her friends. Like, we've all been in those relationships where you think it's still going to work out, even though we'll talk about how it was so toxic and, so emotionally abusive, like she was still like had hope for the relationship. And so she wasn't even certain it was over. And then he posts this thing online.
I think at that level of fame, also, you expect somebody to give you a heads up. Like, the news cycle is going to start around this. You're going to start getting calls. Like most couples, if it's relatively amicable, release a statement on the same day. I mean, you're talking about one of the most famous singers in the country right now. You'd think he'd give her like a warning shot. In honor of our relationship, I know it's over, but like here, this is going to happen. So he did not do that. So apparently it was a very volatile, I would say emotionally abusive, verbally abusive relationship. The stories that have come out, they sound awful to deal with. And he offered her, his people did $12 million to sign an NDA, a home, also an apartment. So she has rejected all of this and she has decided to forego the money and spill the tea instead.
Yeah. And it was interesting because it's not a lump sum. If you guys are curious how it worked out, it was like 3 years. So like 1 year, if she doesn't say anything, she gets the $4 million, and then $4 million each year is what it sounded like.
Vesting schedule.
Well, it's just
this is hysterical. I did not know this.
Like,
it makes sense.
I have questions. I mean, obviously, an NDA is not for 3 years. Like they're saying, they're contractually what you can't say anything forever, or they could come back and sue you for the money, right?
I don't know if there's a statute of limitations on an NDA. I mean, you could put anything you want in a contract. Right. Yeah, you could put a gag order on somebody until the end of time, and that's what the money's for. I
mean, Trump only offered Stormy Daniels $130K.
That is
Get
so
on
cheap.
Zach Bryan's level.
That is
$130,000 compared to $12 million.
I guess it depends on what you have on somebody, right?
Right.
So Brianna Chickenfry said basically, I mean, she's told quite a few stories that sound very emotionally abusive.
Like narcissistic, really.
Yeah.
Just like
screaming at
volatile.
her. Yeah. And really just taking all of her self-worth and her confidence and if these things are all true, which I'm assuming that they are. But she said in one of the stories that she has video of him, her family and her friends have video of him like verbally berating all of them and screaming. And she said, I'm assuming part of the money is for the video. So I think also like all these other people aren't on an NDA. Like she could have taken the money and everybody around her could have released the stuff.
I love that.
Like she could have taken that. I
could have now. I never thought of that. Like me and you, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be in my NDA? Like, are you under my NDA too? Because then you're like, well, I need some money too. Because I'm like, if this happened to me, if some famous person and I broke up and then they were like, okay, Ashley, well, here's your $12 million over 3 years to not say anything. I'm like, but you didn't say Raina.
It's funny you asked that because Grace O'Malley, who she does the podcast with, people were saying, you know, she hasn't said anything. She hasn't made a statement. And the song that he wrote, Pink Skies, is about Grace O'Malley, and he mentions her in the song.
What?
So basically what had happened was, the song Pink Skies, and he mentions Grace.
Okay, Zach Bryan's song.
Jack Bryan's song. Basically, Brianna Chickenfry says, I forced him to go to her grandmother's funeral, Grace O'Malley's funeral. He screamed at me for the whole day, and then he wrote that song at night. And then people are saying, like, is Grace O'Malley on his side? Did he pay her off? Is that why she's not making a statement? And they have had some, like, pretty public, not falling out, but back and forth. People have thought they may not be friends anymore or anything. My theory is that when you are with somebody who is emotionally abusive, they try to isolate you from the people around you that are going to help you and be on your side. And that makes a lot of sense why a friendship would fall apart. So she did finally release a statement. She said 2 days ago, I wish I didn't even have to say this, but there is no world where I would ever take money from that clown to shut me up. This has been quite a year, and I'm still not ready to talk about it online. I'm just happy that Bri is free, and from that piece of shit, that's all for now.
Damn.
Love it. Love to see it. And she posted, the background is a post, I guess from that event, maybe the funeral or something. It's a photo of that day. Mm-hmm. So she's basically saying, these stories are true.
Right.
These things happened, and yeah, I'm on my girl's side.
Yeah. I don't even know we have so many things we want to discuss. I don't even know where to begin, but like the theme is just what a fraud he is, you know, and how he would start these fights and then obviously be like such a good guy in public. Like there was this dress she wore to this event and he slut shamed her and was like, don't wear that, you know, which is very like emotionally abusive again. And then he ended up like posting a picture of her in the dress on his story and like, that's my girl. Was it the Grammys?
I don't know.
Yeah. And, you know, just basically being like, you know, that's my girl. Like that's so gross. That's actually one of the grosser things of all of it. Is just like, that is sick. Mm-hmm. Like if someone ever does that is so like, just feels like so manipulative, like so premeditated, like to know that you're fighting with somebody, slut shaming them, whatever it is over something they're wearing. And then you're going to post it on your own story. Like, how hot is she? Like, I'm sticking by it. The same thing with that. Like if he was like, I don't want to go to this fucking funeral and he's going to write a song about it. Like he's just a fraud and he's trying to look good in public. And I don't know what's going to happen to him. You know, I really liked his music. I think a lot of people did. You know, he kind of defied these genres of pop and country and he was really blowing up. And it's like now clearly not a good guy.
It's very interesting to see behind the curtain of something like that. Like specifically the photo you're talking about where he's like, she's so beautiful. She looks so great. That's my girl. Like I looked at them online and I was like, that is the most in love couple.
Yes.
They're so happy.
Yes.
Like if these two can't make it, who can? And like, I really watched their online persona and was like, this is love. This is what companionship looks like. This is what best friendship looks like. I mean, the way that they would speak about each other, I was like, this is it.
But doesn't that kind of go to the whole, like, not that I buy into this all the time, but what, like, the longer the caption, the like, the more they're fighting behind closed doors, you know, like, kind of, it's the ups and the downs. So when you see the picture perfect relationship on social media, that's an up, you know, like it's coming off of a fight. They just made up. I mean, we all know how those ups and downs goes, like the volatility followed by the really intense, like making up, the makeup sex, the I love yous, all that stuff. So it's like, you see the posting in those highs, which is not authentic. You know, it's just like, that's what is happening when you're showing the world your relationship.
It's just,
more stable relationships don't always appear that way.
But like you and I are so hyper on the internet. And I know that everything you see is not true. And I know that so many things are put on, but like that relationship and like Jason Tartick and Kat, I don't root for anybody to break up, but like I saw them and I was like, that's the goal. Look how in love they are. Mm-hmm. They look so happy. He just loves her daughter and they're such a team and such a unit. They seem so elated. And you look at that and you're like, I want that for myself. I want those things. And it's like, it's just a good reminder that like what you see is not always
very different.
reality.
Because I think Kat and Jason, what was happening on the
tremendously different situations.
Yeah, like those are not comparable in terms of that. Like, I don't think they had some toxic thing going on the inside. No. I know they didn't. They just broke up for other reasons. Mm-hmm. And I think you can tell he's very sad and, you know, like it feels really authentic to me. Like this was not authentic. And because
Sure,
she's
right.
being like emotionally abused, and she knows she is, and she takes a lot of blame for it, which, it's not fair to blame yourself. We've all been there, but she's like, I kept going back to it, like I hate that I enabled this person by staying with him.
I think there's a lot of self-blame that comes with this, and you and I are certainly not therapists, but like, it's not your fault, and people don't start off acting like this day one.
Right.
And they break you down
Yes.
with a lot of love and kindness and friendship, and he was so kind to her family. He bought them a house. Like, he really ingratiated himself with her community. It seems like he slowly started to do these things, isolate her from her friends and create situations that you can't come back from. And, to blame yourself at all for this it's so natural, but it's so not the truth, because he didn't show up day one and call you a piece of shit and a slut,
He love bombed, which is actually how it starts. So like even on the podcast, they were like, oh, he tattooed your name on him, week one or whatever, like red flag.
Yeah.
It does start with love bombing. Again, not blaming anybody for not like picking up on those signs, but it's like, that's more typical of how these relationships start. And so many celebrities are like this. I'm not saying all famous artists are, but so many are. This is like a tale as old as time. A lot of times these people who get super famous have the ego, and this is how they're going to be in a relationship. Again, not all of them, but the paying someone off is so gross. It's like, I'm not saying he's like a physical abuser or anything is like Diddy, but it's just like, that's the energy. I can pay my way out of this. Like, I can move through life just hurting people, collateral damage, whoever, ruining these women's lives in some cases. Again, I'm not saying that's just across the board, the people that have done this, and then I'll just pay my way out of it. And it's just like, not anymore, you're not. And I love that she didn't take that money. She's like, I'm not taking your hush money, like, I can't live in a house I know you bought, so I wouldn't talk about how terrible you are. But I was thinking deep about it. I was like, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I couldn't live with myself knowing that's where that money came from. I don't want this fucking money, and that is just personal to me. And I wouldn't shame anybody who would,
Yeah. Either way that you chose, I would have no judgment about it. Like, if somebody was like, $12 million would change my life, my family's life forever, and I need this, and it's more important to me to do that. Like, I'd be like, go off, do whatever you want, but it's so admirable and incredible that she's like, no, I want the whole world to know what you are like.
Well, and this is when you just start to see people getting so famous, and it's sickening. And this is, as an example, is like a Brett Kavanaugh situation. Like what he did to Christine Blasey Ford. When they were in high school, she obviously tried to forget. He wasn't a politician at the time. And then you watch somebody about to be a lifelong Supreme Court justice. The same with Trump or whoever it is. Like these things happen, and however you cope with them is how you cope with them. There's no right or wrong. And then you see them getting more famous. Obviously Zach Bryan is so famous now, but he's only going to get more and more famous. She will never be able to escape him. Like he could be one of the biggest recording artists in the world, and you have to be like, I can't say anything because he paid me. No, couldn't live with myself.
You really couldn't. I know.
You're like, maybe I could.
I might. I don't know. She's 25-year-old me probably would have taken the money. I really have no idea. And you say to yourself, like, well, what impact can she make, And I see it a lot of ways. I think a lot of people can separate the artist from the art. If you're just like, well, he is a verbally and emotionally abusive boyfriend, but I can still go to his concerts. That's not me. But I hope that some people will digest that and take the time to think. You and I were talking about this. Would you want to put your money towards somebody like that?
Mm-hmm.
If friends of ours, you and I offered us a ticket to his concert, not only would I not give my money for that, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't support that publicly. If his song came on the radio, I probably wouldn't change the channel.
Okay. So I have made my Spotify say do not play Diddy music, which was tough because I was Bad Boy for Life.
Yeah, I know.
And he's in a lot of songs. But I had to say, I don't want to hear it.
Uh-huh.
On Spotify, you can say, don't play this artist if you guys didn't know. So if you want to do that, or Kelly, Diddy, whoever it may be, I'm not doing that with Zach Bryan on my Spotify as an example. But no, I'm not ever going to see him live. I'm not going to be in the audience like, woo, love his song. Like, I can't support you.
Mm-hmm.
That's my line. Yeah.
And I hope that also, like, people will listen to her story and see themselves in it and say, like, I've experienced this, and you can't escape it. You can get away from it. You can be brave and heal from it. It's not your fault. And I think that, like, that is what it'll do for so many women, that they'll see themselves in these experiences. Because I think a lot of men are like this. A lot of coercive control goes into relationships, and there's a power imbalance with fame and money and age. and all of that kind of comes into play, and at least somebody will see themselves in this and escape a bad situation. That's what I hope.
Yeah. And I think she hopefully will thrive. And, who knows what being silenced would have done to her career-wise. Like that shit could eat at you and like hinder you in so many other ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like who knows what that would have done if like having to hold that in and taking that money, she might blow past that 12 million, whatever she would have made. You know what I mean? And that's, the goal.
I think that somebody that like slowly erodes your boundaries like this
Yes.
and makes you feel so powerless, and you keep forgiving them, you keep trying to love them, you feel like no self-worth at the end of the day. And like, this is where you take your power back. I mean, God damn, she left $12 million on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. So, that's the tea. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys enjoy National Pickle Day. You can get that dill pickle suck and blow gel at vibesonly.com. Limited run. I meant to say that.
Hyper
So
limited.
Not a lot. Like we didn't know how this was going to go. So very limited quantity. So very
Quantities, I like that.
No, just stop.
I like quantities.
Keep
That's
it
funny.
while supplies last.
Quanties. It's so, I feel like Chris Stefano.
You said Jack Bryan earlier, and we're leaving that.
You
in
said
too.
the Democrats twice last week. I was like, she'll correct herself.
It was not twice. It was once.
It was twice.
No.
Yeah, no, it was.
Run the tape.
Yeah, we'll run
I
the
did not
tape.
say the Democrats twice.
Yeah, we'll go
You
back and
heard
listen.
wrong.
No.
All right, Jack Bryan. Okay, so you guys can find tickets to the remaining shows.
The
on
limited
our
quantities
tour.
of the tickets.
There's going to be limited quantities of the tickets at girlsgottaeat.com. Girls Gotta Eat Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Raina.Greenberg, Ash Hess on social media, YouTube. Again, subscribe, share this episode with a friend, leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking about the snack. And we will see you Monday.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Bye.